Hello lovely people. Today I'm working with a sketch. It's actually an A4 sketch and I'm going to scrapbook this as a 12 by 12 layout. So let's get cracking. Now I've pulled out some papers that I think work quite well together. Some of these are from scraps. I've got a couple of full sheets, but beyond that it's mainly scraps. And I've pulled out some craft for the background. Now I'm going to start with tearing once I've decided not to cut, and I'm just going to tear strips of this paper. And you can see that I'm using, at the moment, 12 by 12 pieces to work from, and I'm going to gradually get smaller. So I'm heading into the scraps now with this yellow honeycomb, and I'm tearing off little bits here, little bits there. I'm going to jigsaw these together, so it's not going to be a plan as such, it's which shape is going to fit in where. I'm not so keen on the craft background, so I'm going to change this over for a white card, and that's going to be where I run from, basically because I think the white works better. Now I've flipped some of the papers over so that I'm using the B side of the paper and starting to stick things down. I'm going to start tucking things in, flipping things about, and just seeing how we get on. Some of these bits I'll lift up, and you can see I'm putting like over like so they don't all have to be different. And I can use some of the strips to make it seem like it's going further, like I have with that yellow strip. So, you'll see this come together slowly but surely, just working one layer at a time, moving things around, trying different bits, pulling things out so that it looks different. You know, it is just moving things around, a bit of trial, bit of error, and see what we get. And where I think I need a bit more, I can tear a bit more off. Where I'm not needing a bit more, I just don't add more. Fairly simple. I'm trying to keep a white space in the middle because I do have a plan at the end of all this for a photo to go there. And as I'm tucking all these bits in, I want to make sure I don't have any really harsh lines in there. The other thing to remember when you're doing a page like this is when you're tearing stuff, you can always take bits away, but you can't always re-add. So just have that in mind. Now I've finished the base layout. I'm going to start distressing some of these edges. I've got a distressing tool. I'm just lifting some of the edges up, putting a bit of tear in, and it just gives a bit of texture, a bit of extra depth to the page, so it's not quite so flat. So we've got the torn strips. The torn edges help with that, but just ruffling up these edges a bit further really assists. And now I'm onto the photo. Well, I would be, but I'm going to make some amendments first. So the photo, I've pulled out this photo of Hope, who we cat sat for the other year, and I'm finding that that white space needs to be broken up a bit. So I've fussy cut out some of these flowers, and I'm going to add those in. Now I've pulled out a couple more photos. This one's Blackie, just to see how they look. Jasper, photo of me, and I'm not liking these square edges. That's what's not doing it for me. I need these square edges to just go away. But I reckon this photo of Daisy just peeking over the edge is going to be perfect. I'm going to cut her out and tuck her into the torn bit so that she's just peeking out over the edge. I mean, why wouldn't I? And a flower at the back just to take that square edge off, just having distressed a few of the edges with it. Again, just adding a bit of depth. So we'll fussy cut a couple more of these flowers out and tuck them in just different places. It's just to break up the white space and help pull that floral blue paper down into the page a bit further so it doesn't look as manufactured. And then I get to embellish. So this kind of page doesn't need a huge amount of embellishment. We've got quite a lot going on, what with the tearing and such like. So I will have a title in there, obviously, and maybe a couple of these butterflies, maybe a few flowers, but it doesn't need loads. I've got some foiled embellishments, which I've pulled out as well, and they will work in with the yellow. And I've got this lovely little flower pot, which is just perfect. I absolutely adore this on this page. So I'm just placing embellishments around, and this is the trial and error of embellishments. Does it look good? Does it not look good? If it doesn't look good, it doesn't get stuck down. If it looks alright, I'll stick it down. And most of the time you can always move these things. There's a couple of exceptions, depending on how sticky the embellishment is. But these transparent butterflies I'm also cutting in half so that I sort of get two for the price of one, if you like. Why not? Now we're on to a title. I might add a bit more of the embellishment, but let's get a title in there first. I know I want to use a kind of rose gold foiled letter, and it's just which one. Now, this really, really thin letter is from Pink Fresh Studios, and I absolutely love it. I have used this so much. But we're going to call the page Peking Mew. Why wouldn't I? Because good word pun. And I actually settled on this really quickly. I didn't add any additional embellishment. That's the page. And you can see there's a lot going on. It pulls the eye down and through the page. And it's a lovely photo of the cat. I love the use of the rough edges. So I really hope this inspires you to use a sketch in a slightly different way. I hope it inspires you to tear some of your papers as well. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see next. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.